So our story continues with Ultra Vegito still with his Ultra Instinct activated, and one mysterious black horn deviating out of his cranium as he looks down in silence, covered in electricity.
Yep, he did just kill Zykor.
Muttering, I will have my revenge. Before just as suddenly, Vegito collapses onto the ground and instantly reverts to base form, losing his horn as a wave of exhaustion hits him. And as he huffs and puffs from the sudden loss in energy, he surprisingly appears to be totally confused over wherever he even is, as he ponders, what happened? Where am I? My head. Before Vegito then begins grabbing his throbbing head and continuing, my body, it's full of injuries. Was I fighting someone? I was. That kid. That god. No son of mine, that's for sure. But Vegito, now denying Zykor's link to him and any associated guilt, would just look to the sky and think deeply. But besides that, it looks like what Madara said was actually true. There seems to exist far more gods than I had ever anticipated.
But yeah, definitely Zykor. If you would figure out how he was born, I definitely would say, if I was Goku, I would say, yeah, he's definitely not my son either.
Timeline with that kid resulted in everyone being wiped out. It's just as I thought. These gods can never be trusted, and not one can be left alive. And with his thoughts complete,
he needs to use that angel stab, man. He has to find out how to use that angel stab to like fully heal him up.
Ominously, I need to find out more about what Madara said. There must be a way to save every timeline and universe from the rule of these monsters. I must learn just how many more of these cockroaches I must dispatch of, and possibly from the one god that would be forced to tell me something. And so in front of the God Killer, just as planned, a portal would open. And finally, without any known distractions, no more Zykor, Vegito would begin slowly walking to enter the portal to a totally new timeline. But just as he approaches, something catches his eye, as if traveling towards him at speed. What the? And suddenly,
here we go with another battle, okay?
A ball of what looks
can
like
this guy catch a break, bro?
Energy appears right behind the God Killer and ready to erase him.
Oh, damn.
But of course, with the attack being noticed, Vegito's impressive speed allows him to dodge out of the way with ease as it lands on the ground and explodes vigorously. Now who dares attack me from behind? Come out, coward! Instantly triggering Vegito to turn around and lash out in anger. Looks like I missed.
Okay, there's
But
Iwan.
shockingly, as we finally see who the attacker is unexplainably Iwan, God of Destruction of Universe 1. For some reason, having returned alone despite running away earlier, and completely aware of the massive gulf of power difference between himself and the God Killer. What? You've got to be kidding me! Even surprising Vegito too, as he slowly then descends back to the ground before standing to face off with the Destroyer, wondering if this was some kind of trick. But a smirk soon appears on the God Killer's face as he then stares at Iwan and lets out, unbelievable! You actually showed up all alone to challenge me, Destroyer? The overconfidence of you gods has reached an all-time high. This is basically a death wish, you know. I thought you last two runts were going to run and cling for the rest of your lives until I finally found you. I planned on taking you out later on, in fact. But sure, if you want to give me a little energy snack now, who am I to stop you? But a concerningly calm Iwan, with his arms behind him regally, would just respond without a hint of fear. Run and cling to life? Don't be ridiculous. I didn't run from you.
Like I said, I still am curious to see how he looks without that damn beard, bro. I probably don't want to know. I actually probably don't want to know.
I was surprised you were able to beat Guts, but Madara too? Now that was a surprise. Though little did you know, it would only serve to lead to your inevitable destruction. As suddenly, Iwan changes to what seems like an eccentric.
I think I'll have nightmares if I saw that.
With his arms out wide and his fingers separated and moving as if controlling puppets.
Okay.
But Vegito, watching on, can't help but be amused with a smirk, commenting, "Now what kind of silly fighting stance is that, Destroyer? Is that something you gods use? Because you're completely open, I hope you know. What are you trying to do over there? Fight me with your fingers?" To which, in response, Iwan's eyes suddenly turn from relaxed to far more serious in demeanor, as his eyelids crease in and he simply replies, "Fight with my fingers? How observant, God Killer. Why don't you just find out for yourself, if you dare?"
Oh, if you dare.
And as if not being needed to be told twice ever, Vegito would instantly bite onto Iwan's offer and rush in straight for the god of destruction.
Okay.
His arms still folded as he does so, in the ultimate sign of disrespect. And with a smirk that continues to increase, he would just say,
I guess unfortunately he wasn't able to absorb
"Find out for
Zykor's
myself?
power,
Who do you think I am, you damn weakling? I'm about to find out what your energy tastes like." Within literal nanoseconds, just in base, Vegito's insane speed leads him to appear right in front of Iwan, who still sports his intense look, but for some reason, still not scared at all.
Okay.
But instantly, just as he does so and reaches Iwan's vicinity, something is sensed by Vegito, a danger like no other, yet still familiar, as he mumbles at the last second, "This energy! No!"
Yes.
What?
Oh,
As
damn.
out of nowhere, both Guts and
Got
Madara
Guts on the
appear,
right,
striking Vegito
Madara on
from
the
both
left,
sides,
okay.
with the shock saying just barely at the last moment, blocking both attacks, but with a stare towards Guts in particular, as he lets out, "You! How? Yeah!" And with his full strength, Vegito then launches his arms out, pushing both Guts and Madara back with full force. The two members of the five strongest instantly shooting back, unable to push forward. Guts! Madara! What's the meaning of this? As once separated, Vegito
Hey, yo,
reacts in
immortality,
pure
bro?
shock and confusion.
I don't think
Not
that's what
being
it
able to
is. I
explain
don't
at
think that's
all
what it is.
how both the first and second members
Cause like
of the
what they have
five
like
strongest
cracks
get
like all
defeated
over them. Why are they
already,
kind of like
and now
cracked?
back and seemingly at full health and strength. All the while, both Guts and Madara
They either look
remain
possessed or they're like
on
mummies
side.
or something. I don't know what's happening.
And as the two silent legendary warriors then jump back to retreat into position, behind them, suddenly a figure appears. And of course, it is what seems like their master himself, God of Destruction Iwan. using the two warriors now as a shield as he stands behind them with his hands up for some reason, commenting, "That's it, boys. Work together now. What's wrong, God Killer? You seem confused. Maybe you should take a closer look." And shockingly, as we peer closer from the
so some kind of like puppet master type stuff.
Barely visible, thin, transparent strands of energy are seen, and most notably, all attached to the limbs and body parts of Guts and Madara. As Iwan then explains, "Notice yet, God Killer? You see, these two, you so generously left their bodies intact for me. Not knowing my signature ability is the forbidden power of reanimation. These two monsters are now back to full power and completely under my control.
Dude,
Shells
reanimation,
of
bro?
themselves, but my greatest weapons now. My greatest puppets." What? But as soon as Vegito
I guess he
learned
did.
the
I guess he
truth
should have
behind
faked
Guts
him, I
and
guess.
Madara's return to the living
Even though
world,
like they didn't really,
sudden
I
rage
don't know,
overcomes him.
did him wrong,
as
I
his teeth
guess. I
begin
don't
to
know.
grit and veins bulge all over his face, and he grumbles
I guess he left
back,
him alive because
"You did what to them?
like they didn't wrong him. I guess.
Damn weakling! You have no right to use the bodies of those in leagues far above you. For the sake of their honor, you will die a horrid death, destroyer!" But as Vegito threatens the god in the first appearance of Iwan's mouth ever seen in the history of Dragon Ball, the destroyer immediately bursts out into laughter, saying back, "What's wrong, Vegito? I seem to have struck a nerve with you, haven't I? Were you really that close to these two? Funny, because it was you who killed them, which I think is a far more worse thing to do. Either way, God Killer, you should know better than anyone. All is fair in love and war." But on hearing this, finally the angered state of Vegito that he had earlier dissipates, and in its place, instead a smirk and laughter of his own from the God Killer emerges as he giggles. "No, to be honest, you are right. They did fall by my hand. I think I'm just more annoyed that you stole my move, Destroyer."
Oh wow, okay,
As
so now
suddenly,
I know
the
what he
God Killer
means by that.
reopens his eyes, revealing they are now completely blackened, and meaning only one thing, as a certain technique is then unlocked.
The clone move.
Yells, "How about we bring out my own Guts and Madara, fool?"
Yeah, you could do that. Yeah.
As instantly, besides Vegito,
Now what,
appears, of
Iwan?
course,
What you
the
gonna do
energy
now, buddy?
apparitions of both Guts and Madara, gained from when he absorbed each of their energies, as with a cocky smirk from behind the two, Vegeta would say, "Recognize these two, Iwan? These are made up of their
This is a
true
crazy
energy.
ability, and I think he just got this just by like
Count.
absorbing their energy. Like it's crazy.
Now tell me
It's also his
now
like his
what?
newer form. Like, this unlocked.
And immediately, a
Yeah,
reaction
he's
of pure
scared, bro.
terror and
He is scared
bewilderment
now.
flushes over Iwan, having never ever seen this technique from the God Killer before, as he mumbles while stepping back in fear. No, this can't be. I found their bodies. They belong to me. I reanimated them completely. There cannot be another with my ability." But the fear
I mean, I think Vegito's ability is way
Iwan
better.
then
Like
moves
you
his fingers to
feel like the
assemble
way
his
he's doing
puppets,
it, he's just like sitting there like
convincing
wide
himself,
open, like doing this.
No.
Right? Like,
these must be illusions. You will not fool me, God Killer. Guts, Madara, destroy this fraud. And immediately, on the orders of their puppet master, both the real-life Guts and Madara then immediately rush in at Vegito with the full force of the originals. But as they do, Vegito just begins to grin wider and wider as he thinks, perfect, now this will be just the test I need. Go! Show this fool what your power was really like! As Vegito then suddenly
I wonder how this is gonna be. Is this gonna be like a standoff, or is it just gonna be like a clash? Like I am kind of curious to see what's gonna happen. Right, let's see.
Just like that, within seconds, both sets of the legendary 5 would be within inches of each other until...
Yeah, it's just literally groans, bro, like zombie groans, bro. Kind of makes sense.
Viciously with each other, being equal at every turn.
Okay, makes sense.
And with their brief skirmish coming to no victor, each of the duo of legendary warriors lands back with their owners, with a slam, with Iwan reacting. What? What are you doing? As Vegito reacts. Not bad.
Yeah, this is not looking good for him, bro.
Reanimation actually somehow gave them their original strength. But once Iwan realizes that his puppets really are no stronger than the ones the God Killer has inexplicably created, the shade of dark blue slides on his face, as in total fear, he yells, "No! How is this happening? Those things, they are the real deal. They're the same as my puppets."
But better. but definitely
Leaving the
better.
smug Vegito to now fold his arms, still surrounded by dancing black lightning, and comments, "Oh, the little Yeti looks a little blue. I did tell you, didn't I? You should know by now. I'm a man of my word. But don't worry, I'm also a man who craves a challenge, so I have no intention of making this so easy." Before immediately
he wants a
snapping his
challenge.
fingers,
Okay, so he's actually just gonna go against him by himself?
"How
Is that
about
what he's gonna do?
Better?" And just like that, both energy apparitions of Guts and Madara would then disappear
the Saiyan cells within his body
then
is
for
just
some
making this
reason,
happen, man,
no
of
longer
course.
needed by the God
I guess I shouldn't expect anything but this. Okay.
Before finally we get our
Okay, the
explanation,
original Ultra
with Vegito
Vegito
then suddenly
form,
powering
okay.
up to his Ultra form, combining both Ultra Instinct and Ultra Ego as he
The
does
original
so,
God
yelling
Killer
out,
form, right
"Come
here.
on then! Send those walking dead men! Let us see just how much stronger I am now!" And as Vegito
This is
just
good.
stands
Test
there
your
waiting
abilities,
for a
man.
response, he would yell
Okay.
further, "Huh? Hurry up! Bring it on!" But this overconfidence and willingness to engage just brings a cocktail of anger and fear.
It doesn't look like they have their
as he
swords back, though.
grumbles, Your cockiness will be your demise, God Killer. Do not forget that each of these left you near death only days ago. Together,
That is kind of crazy. It's only been
will
days.
Be annihilated.
That is kind of
Do
crazy.
you understand? To which Vegito would respond,
I'd go Vegito. He needs to go to
"I
a different
understand
timeline and
perfectly.
just like get some
So
rest.
hurry
man.
up and give me my just desserts." And just like that, Guts and Madara would then shoot off for Vegito, who immediately gets into fighting stance, readying himself without an ounce of hesitation. But as the master and student attack with elbow and fist simultaneously, a smiling Vegito is quick to just duck under. Leading to what seems like an angered Madara to launch yet another attack. To think, I had problems reading your movements before.
Damn, that's crazy, bro.
As instantly, as if avoiding attacks from just his younger son, Vegito would just hop over
I guess
Madara's
him getting this new
like
form, him fighting Zycor, has made it so that he,
undeterred, the puppet Guts
Madara
would
is like
soon
nothing
then
at
launch
this
his
point.
own attack. Really, Guts? You think I wouldn't notice that big clunking body of yours? Get real. Eventually leading to Guts appearing right behind
real.
Vegito,
Okay.
but of course, the
Man,
God
the
Killer
disrespect,
wouldn't care
man, it's
less.
tough, it's tough.
Dodging the swipe of Guts' arm with the simplest of head movements without even facing him before. Don't get too close, God! Before, like a donkey being approached closely from behind, quickly swings his leg back and kicks Guts far off. But even with that pushback, the battle continues between the two, despite how one-sided it is, as the puppet
Yo, Madara just like watching?
But with of course nothing to say, the puppet would then launch in at what seems the perfect moment to step in. Oh, there you are, Madara. Reaching Vegito mid-fight from behind, but as he swings, Vegito quickly vanishes out of the way.
Oh, damn,
leading to
wait,
Madara
what?
striking his student instead.
Oh, damn,
as Vegito
okay.
yells from behind, "Hey! I don't think you're allowed to be beating your student, Madara. Tut tut." Maybe I'll have to be the one to dish out some disciplinary action here. As Vegito then begins powering in his palm a concentrated sphere of energy. Die! As suddenly, the God Killer launches a barrage of ki blasts at the two members of the strongest, who just watch stunned, unable to move until Iwan moves them.
Like they're literally puppets.
And Iwan does exactly that in the end, as instantly
Yeah,
Madara
they are
throws his hands
they are
together
literally
and
puppets,
summons his
though.
giant samurai titan at the very last moment. As each of the beams then crash on, exploding right on the protected Madara. While meanwhile, Guts surprisingly finds a way to escape, watching on from above as the smoke of the explosion
So literally, Iwan is literally copying their techniques, all this stuff.
But it's not long for the God Killer to notice, and he makes his appearance once again behind the once legendary swordsman. But
Here we
unfortunately,
go.
it doesn't seem to be to just say hi, as in
God Slayer Blade, here we go, bro.
Suddenly then appears. What? Wait! I won't be able to move him in time! Alarming Iwan, as he realizes no matter how dexterous he is, he will never be able to outspeed the God Killer at that distance. Sorry, Guts, but this is going to be a little bit of deja vu. As Vegito then thrusts his hand behind, ready to cut through Guts once more. Rest in pieces, my friend! And just like that, mercilessly, without any caution, Vegeta would cut straight through the body of Guts.
Okay.
But for some reason, whether it is because the warrior is just a puppet or not, Guts barely reacts. But soon, a reason why appears as inexplicably, straight out of the playbook of Vegito, slowly the gaping distance
what?
between his torso and legs would begin to be bridged.
Okay, man, I guess this
until
sort of kind of makes sense a
finally,
little bit.
Guts would appear
Because his
whole
arms
again,
and legs,
as
his
if
back, and
Vegito
all
had
this stuff
done
is back.
nothing. What? Did I just see what I thought I saw? Confusing Vegito, having never seen Guts do anything like this in their first battle. But the shock doesn't last long, as Vegito then says with a smile, I guess this is the power of reanimation, huh? Looks like I'm no longer the only immortal here. And in response, the silent warriors would just grunt back. As Guts and Madara then surround Vegito, there is a cold silence as neither side makes the first move until...
Okay. Speed blitz time, let's go.
Simultaneously begin moving at super speed.
Hey yo, Jason Birder?
Nice try,
come back, like,
but I'm on a whole new level to you.
Throw back to Jason Birder right here, bro.
And as soon as the three collide, the same story is seen. With the trio then battling all over the sky, with absolutely nothing being landed on Vegito before the eyes of Iwan.
Yeah, I guess he just has to take out Iwan first.
What am I looking at? But when we zoom in on Iwan's expression, his eyes are wide open in shock, as even he realizes he's keeping up with both of them. No, is he beating them?
Yeah, he's beating him. This is not even his final form,
in a
bro.
perfect answer to Iwan's thoughts, Vegeta would then effortlessly...
Yeah, I guess, I don't know. Like, he just needs to just take out Iwan and they'll stop moving, I guess.
Sending both to a brutal crash landing on the ground.
But I mean, they're making noise, so it's like Iwan, like, doing these noises too.
And with each of the former members of the five strongest completely dispatched of, and with ease, Vegeta Cockley can't help but reflect, absolutely insane! The improvements I've made are night and day. This is a bigger jump than even when I rematched that freak Zarbon on Namek. Oh, how I still remember the look on his face. But the laughter is soon cut short, as from close by, Vegito begins to sense movement again. As shockingly, like true zombies rising from the dead, Madara and Guts come back to life and full consciousness, despite the earlier beatdown.
Power of reanimation, right?
Leaving Iwan now to seemingly have the last laugh as he yells, "So sorry, God Killer, but as long as I exist, these two will forever continue to fight too."
Yeah, like I said, you probably have to go
Just
after
give
Iwan
up because...
first.
But mid-sentence, Iwan is
because
paralyzed
what?
into complete silence as before him, a horrifying and unexpected sight then appears. Hello, destroyer.
Yeah, like I said, he has to go after
As
Iwan
suddenly,
first.
right before the face of Iwan appears Ultra Vegito, smirking with one hand on his hip nonchalantly and the other face palm first towards the god. As he looks down and says,
it doesn't look like he wants a high five.
Well, if it's as long as you exist, Iwan, then I should just make sure you don't anymore. Kai! Immediately then shouting the one word.
Yeah, he didn't even absorb his energy, okay?
Iwan finally,
I guess you just gotta make it quick when he's doing stuff like this, huh?
there will be a race too! Iwan, with a look of pure terror and a trembling voice, would yell out a confusing statement. Causing Vegito to stop his
There'll be a
technique
race
midway and question,
God damn, man, they're just chilling in the afterlife.
Will be a race too? What the hell are you talking about, you damn Yeti? And Iwan, now serious, as he finally gets a chance to fight.
Yeah,
for
man, they're
his
just
life,
chilling in the
begins.
afterlife, you know, just
Yes.
you know, chilling,
If you destroy me,
eating some good lunch.
those two will vanish
Now
too.
they're gonna have to get Hakai because of this
They are only here
freak.
because of my energy. You see these energy strings? They run through their whole body. And if you erase me, while my energy makes up their very being, once I disappear, they too will face the same fate. You don't want that, do you, God Killer? You're obviously saving them for some reason. Perhaps because only the destroyers and angels were part of the erasure of Earth. But whatever your reasoning, stick with it. Spare me, and me only. You prove your point and given me a brutal defeat, I will disappear from this universe and never talk to a mortal again, let alone destroy one. I will even help you find Mule, if you wish.
Oh, no. Yeah, he's not gonna agree to this.
And with that
Why
said,
he agreed to
suddenly
this?
a look of deep
This is
thought
nothing.
strikes Vegito.
That's no
And
deal.
he even then drops
Bring
his
me,
palm
bring Vegito his
back
family
into
back.
Greece.
Right? Like, what the hell are you talking
And
about?
without saying a word more, Vegito would then mysteriously turn
That's
his
the
back
only,
to
that's
a
the only
nervous
thing he
Iwan,
cares about. If you can bring that back, then maybe he'll
Guts
spare you.
and Madara.
I don't know about
And
this.
soon enough, Vegito would approach Guts first. The first of the 5 strongest.
Let's see
and
what he
perhaps
does.
one of the only gods Vegito had grown a level of respect for. And once Vegito and Guts lock eyes, Vegito can only say quietly, "What has he done to you, Guts? Do you even know who you're looking at anymore?" But of course, only monotonous groans or silence is what the lifeless puppet Guts gives back in return. Before Vegito would then continue, "Guts, it's true. You were nothing to do with what happened to my loved ones, and it wouldn't be fair to even say you allowed it to happen. You've existed for millennia, and to this day, I know not where you or Madara are from. Madara had mentioned a land beyond, and if it's different from this realm, then I cannot make the wrong decision here."
Whoa, what the hell just
But
happened?
suddenly, a truly
Oh.
interesting phenomenon begins to develop, as from the right side of Vegito's skull, a small bump begins to develop, before then growing out quickly to a small horn,
he's crying,
and
bro?
finally, a full-length demon horn. Just
Oh,
as
did that
we witnessed
hurt?
against Madara,
Is that why he's
and
crying?
notably as he does so, a lone tear falls from Vegito's eyes. A horn? And Iwan from behind would
A
instantly
horn,
realize
yeah.
what this meant.
Uh,
As now, a demonically charged Vegito out of nowhere would then yell the chant he was supposed to finish earlier.
I guess, yeah, he's just gonna Hakai them so he can Hakai Iwan, I guess.
And just like that, the silent puppet Guts would
Yeah, man, he
erase
was in the
his-
afterlife chilling, and now he's fading away. Now, damn.
You monster! You demon! Causing an instant shock and horror
Let that
reaction
horn
from
come
Iwan
out, though.
before
That's what I would've done.
his fight or flight is activated, and he immediately just begins running for his life. Only serving though to anger Vegito
But I
more,
mean, he
though.
should have just Hakai'd Iwan because
You made me do that, Yeti. You think you can run? You think you can run from me? As Vegito immediately then swung
he should have
his
just
right hand
Hakai'd Iwan
into the
because
air
he could have seen if he
before-
was telling the truth. Whoa!
And in a truly shocking, unexpected move, Vegito would then crash
well,
his
hey,
palm
Madara,
into the face of the
peace
planet,
out, man.
pushing all his destruction
Hopefully
power
your
into the
lunch was
very
good,
core of the
and
globe.
in the other world or
Using
whatever,
huge
it's time for you to
energy,
go.
Wind and power,
And the
to
Iwan,
shockwave
you know,
everywhere as he
we
does so
don't care about
until-
Iwan here, so.
In a flash of unfathomable light and speed, Iwan, Madara, and the entire planet are then erased on the spot and never to be seen again. And in the silent aftermath, Vegito is left all alone in the expanse of space, his right hand still trailing with destruction energy, as when we zoom in,
So I'm guessing
a single
Vegito,
trace
like,
of a
I
tear
don't know,
remains in his
does
eyes
some kind of like
as he
sphere
looks
so he can
down
still
and
breathe.
finally says, "You were a fool to think that dirty trick would work.
Or maybe the angel staff creates some kind of like field, right?
Those two deserve to just die and atone in the afterlife.
Okay.
But if you think I won't do anything to get my revenge on you destroyers, then you have another thing coming." But as Vegito says this, behind, almost without a hint of sound, a pair of feet descend. Well, that was an entertaining show, Godkiller. And suddenly, a mysterious new figure is revealed, with black hair, a symbol on his cheek, and draped in what could only be described as divine clothing. As
That's
the mystery
divine?
warrior
Okay,
was
sure.
then finally let out, I'm guessing you know the deal by now. I am the third.
Alright, man, here we go. Vegito cannot catch a break.
Yamoshi.
Yo, Yamoshi? Oh, wait, what? Yamoshi? Yamoshi. Okay. Alright, man. Things are starting to heat up, guys. Things are starting to finally heat up. Alright. Yamoshi. Let's go.